Hello everyone, welcome back to Symphony of the Night. Okay, so last time we started our quest, we got killed horribly in the outer wall. Now we need to get back to the outer wall. I'm just going to quickly explore the marble gallery a little bit, just to make sure there's nothing I've missed. There are a lot of illusory walls and stuff like that in this game. Now, obviously, this format these days, the sort of standard Metroidvania action RPG type of thing, is available 10 a penny these days. But when this game came out, it was sort of semi-revolutionary and semi-not revolutionary, in the sense that the sort of gameplay progression style of it is just the same as the Metroid games which had come before. I believe the first 3 Metroid games were already available for a while before this game was developed. These puppets are a little bit annoying. I'll try and dispatch them quickly. Okay, 3 hits. So Super Metroid and that sort of thing like completely perfected this format, and this game, you could quite reasonably say, just stole that idea. But the idea of it being an action RPG as well, with character progression and equipment loads and stuff, was that was original to it. It was like taking 2 different kinds of games and completely combining them to create a new experience. And now, so in that way, you could easily see the influence that this game has on things like Dark Souls. This is actually, I would describe as like a proto-Souls game, or even that Demon Souls and Dark Souls are like taking the Symphony of the Night experience and making it kind of, taking it like that little bit further, you know? That ball and chain has a ridiculous reach on it, so I'm sort of trying to keep my distance as much as I can. Now, the one advantage to being killed at the end of the previous episode means that when I reloaded, I managed to keep my... 14 damage, Jesus, man. I managed to keep my crystal item, so that's very good, because we have a nice, powerful ranged attack with which to handle enemies like that. And we got the iron ball. Is that an equipable weapon? Yes, it is. Huh. Well, that was weird. It just has a one-use weapon, which I've just squandered. Never mind. Didn't come this way last time. These boomerang skeletons, god, they're annoying. To kill them quickly. Hang on a second. That was weird. Thought my sword had been unequipped, but I think it was alright. Bloody hell. So, like I said before, I've deliberately kind of not played this game for a couple of years, just so that I'm not an absolute master at it, because I used to be just that. Really, really good at this game. And I used to know the entire layout of the world map, like, off by heart. Oh god. Okay, these guys are only doing 1 damage, but they do spawn infinitely, so I need to be getting a better weapon, really, fairly soon. Give me money. The short sword is the first weapon that you get, so you can see that it's really pretty pathetic. The red rust is better, but it's a 2-handed sword. I'm having that back. So I can't use the shield as well, which can be useful for the upcoming boss. Hopefully we will find him in due course. But oh, there's a Cthulhu. Sometime soon you get the item. You get these things called relics, which are like sort of... Oh dearie me. Okay, I'm not going that way now. Anyway, you get these items called relics, right, which are like... sort sort of permanent upgrades, a little bit like perks, and they like give you different abilities, and one of them is a sort of bestiary book which lets you reveals the names of the monsters when you kill them or when you attack them, and I think that monster was called Cthulhu. Well, there's one like that that's called Cthulhu anyway. Right, let's carry on this way. Go to the outer wall, I think. That's probably the direction that we want to be going to progress. Now we just have to go through this huge gauntlet. There's a scene with Maria here. We've already seen that, so I'll skip it. And carry on. We just have to go through this really long corridor with the plant things and stuff. But I just need to try and not get hold of that time stop item by accident this time. If I can keep hold of this jewel, that will be useful. Okay. Some hearts back. Bloody animated tables. You wouldn't think an enemy like that would give you as many problems as it does, but never mind. Now, the early progression in the game can be somewhat slow because you don't have the items that you need to be able to easily get around the areas. There are also other things. That was what I picked up. Don't want that. There are also other things that you can find to improve navigating the game world, including there are these like warp rooms, kind of like the save rooms, but they're just ways that a way you can fast travel in between certain areas of the map. And okay, where are we? I think to the bottom right here, I think was the corridor with the plants that leads to the outer wall. That way, I think, was going to the magically sealed door. So we'll carry on this way. Yeah, that's fine. Oh. Ow, 8 damage. Good thing the crystals can deal with them very efficiently. See that the way that they rebound means that one can harm an enemy multiple times within the right environment. A narrow corridor like this is perfect for it because they bounce off the ceiling like that, and you see they can be very quickly destroyed. But those enemies aren't too bad anyway. It's the ones, the plant ones which we find here, the ones that can turn you to stone. God, these guys are annoying. Okay. Just all about timing to make sure you don't walk into one of the projectiles, as I am wont to do all the time. Alright, now this is the outer wall. I need to avoid that ridiculous giant knight thing that's just below this time. It's a zircon, that's a jewel I think, which is worth quite a bit of money. You can see we can't get to that vase. We need the wolf upgrade to be able to get there. And we can't, at this point, get any further up either. But we can go in here, and this will take us back into the castle to a different area. The blue knights, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Unless they do that, which they do 10 damage, so yeah, not great. Where are we? Okay. Could do with finding a save room around here. Oh, dearie me, this is bad. This is the boss I was talking about. Right, so I'm probably not going to do this now, but Basically, this boss is a clone of Alucard, who has basically all of his abilities. But you can basically easily bait him into... If you put your shield up like that, he will throw a knife most of the time. Like that. And then you can like try and get him to a position, oh dearie me, where he can take damage from you. But as you can see, this is very tricky stuff. So I'm going to very quickly equip a pot roast, and that gives me 50 HP back, but I don't have another one, so I'm probably going to lose this battle, to be quite honest with you. See, he broke my shield there. That's something that can happen. Just trying to get him into the line of those. And he'll take a load of damage. That's the diving bat move is really hard. Now, it's so strange that this boss is so early in the game, because it's easily one of the hardest in the whole game for me. The other ones are like really have much more predictable patterns, and so yeah. Okay, I'm going to quickly go back there, and then hopefully, I think there is a save room just outside that boss room, which would make it far better. It means we can go in with full health, and we won't have to do this massive traipse all the way back afterwards. So just very quickly, gonna move in that general direction. Pick up some hearts. So we've got 80 HP if we can go in with full. Plus 50. Ooh, cheese. Plus 50, which we can heal from the pot roast. That cheese might give us HP as well if we use that.
Wait.
And so it's basically just a case of endurance at this point. You don't really have many ways of dealing with he's an amazingly aggressive boss to fight. You don't really have very many good ways of evading his attacks, short of your own quick step and jumping and shielding. This boss isn't nearly as difficult as I'm making it out to be, though. I'm just, for some reason, have like real problems with him. Okay. And I think this is where you get the time slow item. Yep, not picking that up. That might be useful against that boss, actually, if it works. But it takes something like 20 hearts to use it, so you would only be able to use it probably 3 times, and that wouldn't be enough to defeat him, I don't think. Just going to quickly get through this, and I know that there is a $250 coin bag in one of these. One of those weird things about Castlevania that no one ever really understood, but is like now just a series trope, is that you whip the candles and hearts come out of them. Very strange stuff. Yep, okay. Quickly. 250, nice. Like it, like it. And quickly go on here. There's one more plant. Oh god. Mashing. Okay. I think the crystal is going to be more useful, probably. One thing I just noticed is there was an eyeball going past that window. There you can see in the background the eyeball flying around in the window. Pretty cool. Nice depth of field. Okay, and grab the zircon. It's not useful to us, but never mind. So we know that after this room, up and to the right is the boss room, so I need to be avoiding that until I've found a save room. I think there is one just nearby. There better be. So not in there. Right, my hearts are maxed. Here we go. So if only I had just gone in that room first last time, then I would have saved probably around 5 or 10 minutes on this video, but never mind. Let's give this guy another shot. See how we get on. Those candles are a really good way of quickly filling up your hearts from the save room. You can just whip them, go back into the save room, go back out. Okay. Not good at all. Basically got me pinned in a corner. Need to get a bit more distance between you in order for him to use the throwing knife. Like that. Properly pinned. Just didn't get hit by that flying dive attack, which does like 11 damage. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go for the pot roast again. And then get my shield back up. Let's just quickly see what does the cheese do. Delicious cheese. Nice. Ah, come on. So yeah, while this guy is incredibly fast and aggressive, he does have certain patterns which you can exploit. And I think he has this probably about the same amount of HP as your Alucard, so it's just a case, and I don't think he can heal, but oh god, this is bad. Potion. Let's go for a potion. 50. And cheese. 18. Back to the shield. What does the red rust do in comparison to that? 10. Oh, it's worse. Right, so we're definitely good with the short sword and the shield. It's the best chance we've got. Ah, that move. Can you see him? Okay, we got him. Had to use all my healing items, but never mind. This should give us a heart max up as well, which will refill our HP. Yep. Sorry, life max up. So we're up to 91 max HP, which is good. And we get a Gladius, which is going to be a better sword than this. Yes, it is marginally better. Sword of Ancient Rome. Nice. What I'm going to quickly do before we continue is just obviously go back and save the game, but quickly grab a few of these hearts. The large hearts give you 5. And so as I say, I'll just quickly save it now. Peace of mind. And there is the marginally tedious task of just going in here, grabbing 5, 10 hearts, and then going back out again. And you can see where this is going. 5, 10. I'll just do this a couple more times just so we have a nice supply. Don't need to get them all the way to the top, but just so we can use our crystal. That'll do. And then I'll save it again, and then we can obviously just grab them on the way past. Each time, assuming that I get killed before I find another save room. Apologies if my voice sounds really croaky, by the way. I've got a really sore throat. My girlfriend was working in this like rotten, mouldy cellar thing for a full week. It was just one task that she had to do at her job was like go into this old cellar that was full of like lost archives, basically. And it basically like meant that she had to work in this really, really unsavoury, damp, rotten environment for a full week. And it made her really ill. She got like a really horrible chest infection from it, and which I wasn't very pleased about because, you know, there are obviously like laws and rules in place to make sure people work in a hygienic and sanitary environment that isn't harmful to their health. Nonetheless, she was really suffering, and my immune system compared to hers is pretty strong. I don't really get ill. But I think that's a life max. Yeah, it is. Can I get it? Yes! But anyway, basically I was like... obviously we lived together and I was sharing a house with someone really ill for like a full week. And I was absolutely fine. But then... just woke up this morning and my throat's like really hurting and my voice is sort of a little bit delicate, and the more that I'm talking, you know, in the process of recording videos, my voice is slightly sort of starting to deteriorate. So if I get to the point where I'm losing my voice, I'm going to have to call it a day and not record anymore. I have a few videos backed up so I can upload in case I do come down really badly with this thing and I can't record, because I can feel my voice like starting to break, you know. And if I overuse it, then I may well lose my voice completely. But I feel like it gives me a sexual gravelly tone. I'm sure you'll agree. I think up here there is a save room. I think we can... these guys. Another classic Castlevania enemy, these Pike Men. And they have several moves which are extremely irritating. This guy's doing the overheads. Little archer here. And these gunmen. The enemy types have always been really cool and varied in Castlevania games, but I love the guys with the flintlock rifles. That's the power of the wolf. We have to use the lift that you saw below to get to that. And I think if we're coming up to the top here, that this is a save room, probably. No, it's not. Further up there is a save room. I guess I'm going to go for that, although this area is extremely dangerous. You saw we have Medusa heads spawning here. A really, really irritating enemy from Castlevania. And this light... oh, the orange Medusa heads, or yellow, or whatever they are, turn you to stone if they hit you, which in close proximity to this evil knight is pretty bad. I think there's something in there. $100, nice. So just a bit further up, there is a save room which we're going to use, and then we're going to go exploring. Although actually, I may just stay in this outer wall area. Oh yeah, if we hit this lever, the elevator is activated, as you can see. that lets us use it and get to the Soul of Wolf, which is the first power that Alucard gains. It allows him to transform into a wolf, and which lets us do things like that. You see, we couldn't make that jump to that vase. That's something that we would be able to do if we were in wolf form, so I'll do that next. Is it this? Where are we? I think it might be here. Yes, at the very top of the wall. So I am going to go back down, use that elevator, grab the Soul of the Wolf, clear out some items from this outer wall, and then call it a day. No, I don't want that really. Prefer the crystals. So we'll just zip down to where that elevator was and use it. It's also the angriest elevator ever. It's like so aggressive. You can see the gate's broken open here. Okay, we've got the Soul of Wolf. Now if we press L1, we can turn into the wolf. We can double tap to sprint, that gains momentum. And the wolf, when it's running fast, and particularly when it's running uphill, gets a much higher jump than Alucard has naturally. And being in wolf form slowly drains your MP. But you can still stay in that form for quite a while. And I believe if you're hit once in wolf form, then you transform back to Alucard. So we can get to that vase now. Assuming that these Medusa heads don't cause us any problems. You see, we can jump there, and that gives us a heart max up. Bloody things. They do a fair amount of damage as well, those Medusa heads. Super irritating. Don't want that. Go back and save it. And then I think we'll probably go down lower. And we will... I think there was another vase we can now get to with the wolf form. And there was a super tough knight down there which we can defeat to probably get something from him. We've already done that one. If we just take the lift all the way down, as you can see, it's very aggressive. It's halfway down. So we'll go on foot from here. Because there will be some items like this that we want to grab. That's the bottom of the lift. And yeah. I already got that one, but oh yeah, there's one here. We just sprint and nope. So there's a weird thing with the wolf form where if you're going upstairs or up a slope, then your jump is like magnified for some reason. And I watched Rom Scout, who is like one of the best Symphony of the Night speedrunners. You saw the super jump thing there. I saw Rom Scout speedrun this game with Kogi Igarashi, who of course is the producer of Castlevania and of Bloodstained, the forthcoming Castlevania spiritual successor, which I've already played on this channel, or played the demo. And basically he asked him about that wolf super jump when you're going like up a slope, and what he basically said about it was that it wasn't originally intended to be like that, but they when they were coding the game, they like discovered it was a thing and decided that they would just keep it in there, you know. So something appears in that room later. I can't remember what it is, but no use now. And coming towards the bottom of the wall here, I'm taking a shitload of damage. So this is the first mist gate. See, it says Mist could pass. We get the another relic later that lets us lets Alucard sort of transform into like a cloud of mist just for a second. What the fuck? And, man, that's absolutely destroyed my HP. And that means that you can get through those gates. There are several of them in the game. Again, it's just going back to the standard Metroidvania progression system. Okay, this is like a little weird sort of caged area which is suspended at the bottom of the castle. And there isn't much point to it apart from a couple of items like this, and there is this little bonus scene here. If we stand in the right place, I think, there we go, a little scene here which shows the river or the lake underneath the castle. There is a mysterious robed figure rowing along the water, someone who we will encounter later on. So I am going to make my way carefully back up to the save room, and then we'll call it a day. I can't... Oh yes, I remember what the next area is. So in the next episode we'll get straight on with that. Because it's quite a large one. And hopefully we should make it to another boss in that time. But the sort of... what would you call it? The kind of lengths of different sections in between the bosses, and the lengths of time in between the upgrades and the progressions are fairly consistent, so I should be able to keep roughly the same amount of progress in each episode. I'm hoping so, anyway. Let's do some quick shield dashing here to get across. You can see that's definitely the quickest way to move. I'm not really good at it, but speedrunners have that absolutely down, so they can maximise the speed that they can get through the different areas. This is a real favourite of people who speedrun games. There are so many strange exploits and things like that you can use to cut massive amounts of time off this game. And I really recommend watching Rom Scout's videos if you've never seen his Castlevania speedruns. He does mainly he does Symphony of the Night, but he does the Metroidvania style Castlevania games, like this one and the ones on DS, like Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia, and the ones on GBA, like Harmony of Dissonance and Aria of Sorrow. They're all the ones, and Circle of the Moon and stuff, they're the ones that have this kind of format to them. And Rom Scout does really good speedruns of those, so do check his channel out too. Anyway, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do leave me a like, and I'll see you in the next episode of Symphony of the Night.